The biggest CS2 skin crash ever. $3 billion lost. $3 billion. Overnight. Almost overnight, too. Insane. I want to hear about it.
Hello guys, it's boy Normally from Sweden, and in this video we are going to be talking about the most recent update to CS, which completely nuked the market. If I sound weird, it's because I'm hella sick. But this topic is too important to make a video about. It all started here on the 23rd October 2025 when Valve made knives and golds obtainable from trade-up contracts by just using 5 red skins.
Oh, so I do know about this. I do know that the gold rarity was like the highest rarity, and like it was only like knives and gloves, and red was right below that because I've seen like the red guns and shit like that. Interesting. So there's no longer any golds, or it's like golds are like a different thing now. I don't know. Interesting.
Gold. This is like straight out of a McSkillet prank video. I can't believe they made this a real thing. Now, before I talk about how this is gonna—
Oh, I just think about it more. So you could trade every other rarity but the golds. So like, I'm pretty sure a ton of people started trading their reds and started getting hella knives and gloves.
Impact the market. And for the future, I want to thank today's video sponsor, which is CS Money. CS Money
we
is
good off that.
Been obtainable from cases. You would get cases as a drop after playing a game or leveling up, and you would have a very rare chance of getting a gold. In every single case, the gold is always either a knife or a pair of gloves, and it's always the same chance, 0.256%.
Ooh, them gotcha, man, them gotcha percentages.
1 in 390
Good
chance.
God.
Everyone had the exact same chance for a gold, and there was absolutely nothing you could do to increase your chance of a gold. When opening cases, you were also kind of capped by, for example, the daily Steam spend limit of $2,000, just the time it takes to open.
That's crazy. I didn't even know Steam had a daily limit. Oh. Yo, the whales be going crazy, huh? That's nuts.
In a case, the animation, and of course, the inventory limit. With this update, if you could now just—
I guess I'm broke, huh?
As many trade-up contracts as you want, that's a game changer, obviously. First, why was this update added? Well, I think it's because of 2 main reasons. I think reason 1 was to drive more customers back to the Steam community market. All of the reds were very undervalued for the longest time, like an MP7 Bloodsport, you know it's worth about €2 or even less. Meanwhile, the more expensive knives like Karambit Lore Factory New used to be way over $2,000, which is both the market limit in price and the Steam wallet balance limit. So Valve really didn't make any money from these super expensive knives and gloves that were never listed on the market. Because
we all know like the CSGO like different stores and like gambling websites, it is what it is, gambling websites all were like selling stuff for extreme prices. Like I seen stuff for like over 10K. So like easily too. So it's like Valve was like, yo, we ain't making no profit off of that. And we could be making more money. So we could just nuke everything. Wow. And have it all the money, make more money off the long end because you can sell it. Because people Steam caps is 2,000. So we could just sell it. And we'll make okay. That's kind of some conniving shit. That's kind of some. It's smart though. It's our business, it's our game. So what they gonna do about it? They gonna sue us? They gonna sue Valve? No, nigga. Like that's crazy. So like every time, I'm pretty sure like their percentage of like them making more money from their weapons has went up dramatically, right? Because you can just put it on this marketplace, on their marketplace, instead of putting on a shitty ass gambling website or something like that. Damn. Good shit, Val. Good shit. Hey,
as you know,
scammer gets scammed
on the Steam market, let's say for €1,000, Valve are gonna take a huge chunk of that as their fee. By increasing the price of reds and lowering the price of golds, they're kind of equalizing everything, and many more sales will happen on the Steam community market. Reason 2 could be that Valve are just looking for another way for people to obtain golds. Previously, like I said, there was only one way to get golds, from cases. Well, now there's a new way to get golds from trade-ups, and it's the first time ever in CS we have a another way of obtaining golds. This, along with the newly released Genesis terminals, along with the Armory Pass, which also is basically just like a Fortnite store, I think these could be the first steps Valve are taking towards moving away from cases completely.
They got
As
a
you know,
battle
there's huge
pass?
problems with
What
government
is- what the fuck?
regulations and the EU banning loot boxes. And for example, already Belgium and Netherlands have banned cases completely, and Paris have heavily restricted them, and Valve had to circumvent that with the X-ray cases, only available in France. Now, for the actual update, of course, panic started as soon as the update dropped.
As you know it would.
Misinformation also contributed to early panic because the update was bugged. The golds you would get from the trade-ups were labeled as not tradable, not marketable, making people think that the newly traded up golds would never be tradable, but that was just false and just an early glitch of the update. This update, understandably, absolutely murdered the CS2 skin market. At the time, just before
Look
the
at that
update, the market
drop.
cap, basically the entire value of the skins market, had just surpassed $6 billion. The market 2 days after the update reached a low of just about $3 billion. Here it says 3.9, but here you can see Price Empire, who supply these stats, have a more accurate number of just about $3 billion.
$3 billion. Imagine losing $3 billion overnight. Imagine seeing your collection of stuff that you waiting to sell and it gets cut by over half. I would be sick, and I know a lot of people were. I don't know if it's true or not. I heard people like, offering themselves and stuff like that, and like, man, I wish the best for y'all, but man, why are you putting your whole life into a video game like this? Like your whole like savings and shit. Like, I don't know, man.
On average, every single skin in Counter-Strike dropped by about 50% in value. Unfortunately, in reality, the price drop of the golds especially were far worse than just 50%. So I made a little spreadsheet showing the prices of all these cool skins.
Look at that butterfly knife for 20K. Oh my God, 21K for the other one, Factory New Emerald. Look at these prices for a video. This is a video game that's free to play, and a singular fucking item, a skin, is $21,000. Is that not ridiculous? Like, it makes perfect sense why Valve wanted to crash this market. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, holy shit.
Before the update and after the update.
Because they ain't make no money from that.
Check them to see just how bad this update was. Sport Gloves Hedge Maze went from a price before the update of $9,000 to a price in the middle of the crash to just $2,600. That's a more than 70% decrease, or a dollar decrease of minus 6,400. Pandora's Box, about the same, almost 70% decrease. These went down almost $6,000. Karambit Doppler Phase 2 was one of the worst affected ones. It went down almost 80% from $5,000 to under $1,100. The Butterfly Doppler went from 9.7K to 2.7K. It lost $7,000. The Karambit Ruby went from about 14,000 down to 5,000, a loss of over $9,000. Another wild example is the
And the funny thing is, like, none of these skins like are like crazy to me, but I don't play this game, so obviously.
$21,000 to only $5,800. It lost over 15K. The cheapest gloves in the game were before the update about $100 or so, but during the update you could legit buy a pair of gloves for just about $26. Same for the cheapest knife. Before the update it was almost $100,
that bitch ugly
but
as
during
shit.
the crash it was almost under $30.
I'd be sick if I spent all this money trying to get a fucking knife, and the first knife I get is this piece of shit. I'd be sick.
Insane. Now there's more examples of this. Basically every single glove and knife went down something like 60 to 70 to 80%. Now of course already some of the prices have already bounced back, which means that they're no longer anywhere near that lowest price we saw during the crash. But in my opinion it just showed how much impact this update had on the market.
I don't think it'll ever reach that peak again,
in my opinion maybe the most fucked are gloves that are factory factory new. That's because these used to be incredibly rare to get in factory new because of their 0.06 float cap, but nowadays you can very easily trade up to a pair of factory new gloves guaranteed. That's because if you have 5 ingredients in the trade up that all have a float value of lower than 0.0067, which is very easy to get, 67, LOL! Then you're
Good
actually
God, my head
guaranteed
hurt.
factory new glove outcome. You can see all of these gloves you can get are factory new, and that's all because of the new way trade up contracts are calculated. So
for consumers, I understand for the business people, and yada yada yada, y'all probably upset as fuck. But for a consumer, like a person who just play the game and just want to get the skins, hey, this is a W update. I ain't gonna lie. I could just play the game, spend less money, and get the stuff I want more easily. Maybe in the future they might introduce something else that might fuck over, and add more stuff that makes it more valuable. Add another chase, I should say. But you always gotta have a chase for people. People are always chasing that highest tier shit. So they're probably gonna add something else that makes it even better. But yeah, for players like me who are low player spenders on video games and we're spending here and there, but nothing too crazy. This is a W. I know a lot of people are happy. They just happy. So I don't know.
yeah, I think there's an actual chance we see a pretty decent increase in the amount of factory new gloves we have. Even though I lost a ton of money in this update, I was still pretty lucky. So lucky, in fact, that many people actually believed that I somehow had insider info about the update. Like this guy. Nah, he sold everything. He got insider knowledge. Yeah, I'm sure you just had a feeling you had to sell them all. How the fuck did he know to sell? Well, and a bunch of Jew emotes, bro.
What the fuck?
Well, people think that I had insider knowledge because about 2.5 months ago, I recorded the how much is my inventory worth video, but I didn't release the video instantly. No, because after I had recorded that video, I decided, okay, it's time to sell my inventory. And this video was meant to be my last, okay, here's my inventory showcase before I sell it. And after I had sold most of my inventory about 2 months after, I just released the video and I didn't think more about it. If you're wondering why it still looks like I have a lot of skins, it's because all of these are on trade hold, and with them, there's nothing really you can do. As you can see, most of the tradable skins that I had are actually sold. Then, fast forward to the day of the update, I
probably made a fuck ton of money too.
Of luck by selling the last large portion of tradable inventory that I had just 5 hours before the update dropped.
I know that person is sick. That person is sick. Oh my God, I know he's sick. He's probably threatening him right now in his email right now. He's probably on the phone call talking about yo, you scammed me, bitch. Get my money back. Give it back to me right fucking now. 5 hours before the crash. And oh my God, how much did you sell it for?
In those last few hours were Butterfly Black Pearl, Skeleton Black Pearl, Op Gungnir, Nomad Ruby, Bayonet Ruby, and way more skins. A total of $80,000 in skins that I somehow managed to sell literally just a few hours before the update.
What? I'm crunching out. If I spent, you probably sold them different people, right? But somebody spent like 10K on one of these knives, over 10K. And 5 hours later, the whole market's crashed and I could trade up to get it. Somebody gotta go. I'm meeting you at your front door. I'm pulling a fucking chainsaw, man. You open that door, it's over. You open that front door, it's over. Somebody gotta feel me. Holy shit. Hey, W come up, my guy. W come up.
That's absolutely insane and so lucky. Now finally, what do I think of the future of skins and their pricing? Well, I think in the short term, we're kinda fucked. We just had the biggest shift in value ever
easily
in
fucked.
CS, and it's gonna take a long time for the market to adjust. Why would anyone spend $1,200 opening 390 cases on average to get the gold if they could just trade up to a guaranteed one for just $200? As you can see, we have a lot of price adjusting to do. If the golds end up being too expensive, then people are just gonna use up the reds to trade them up to golds for profit, and these trade ups are gonna decrease the supply of reds, meaning that the reds are gonna go up in price, the golds are gonna go down in price, and eventually the reds will be too expensive, so people won't trade them up. And then the golds are gonna go up in price. It's basically like a long just equilibrium.
That cycle's gonna be nasty. I wonder like where they at right now. Cause like this is like a week old, I think this video a week old. So like it makes more sense that the rares are gonna be more expensive than a lot of the golds. Because like people going to trade up. But are people just gonna be buying reds? I mean, I guess if you just want to instantly buy the reds and then trade up to a gold, but then why wouldn't you just buy the gold? Because it's kind of cheaper right now. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But eventually people just gonna start buying straight golds again. Because right now you could buy the reds for cheaper. Maybe. So it probably people on day one probably ate up the red market low key if they were smart. Once they saw the update, you just start buying hella reds and then trading up and getting golds. That's probably what the smart people did. Low key. Low key. Okay. But yeah, the market is definitely fucked right now. Easily.
A big word I just learned. This is a process which has to occur naturally over a long period of
time.
Then the golds are going to go up in price. It's basically like a long just equilibrium. That's a big word I just learned. This is a process which has to occur naturally over a long period of time for people to regain trust in the markets and to see how everything plays out. In the long term, I'm talking from months to years, we're guaranteed to see a stabilization and eventually, hopefully, a price increase. But one thing is certain though, and that's making me a little worried, and that's the loss of trust in Valve. I, for one, know that I will never have as much money in CS skins as I did have this last year.
You will not
have such a blatant disregard for the price of skins. Why risk holding on to them? What's stopping Valve from actually adding the sticker swap tool from my previous April Fool's video? Well, nothing, it seems. What's stopping them from making souvenirs trade-upable? Or even other extreme updates like re-adding old collections like the Norse collection with the Gungnir or the Cobblestone collection with the Dragon Lore to either an active drop pool or as a maybe limited edition item in the Armory Pass. Because remember, these are also items too expensive for the market, so it's really not in Valve's interest to have them be that expensive and rare. Well, we kind of used to know that Valve wouldn't do updates like this. In the 12 years I've been trading skins, the most extreme skin updates Valve have done have just been annoying for the average player or trader, like the 7-day trade hold, which is just annoying but doesn't really hinder any functions or change the ecosystem, or the trade protection, which also doesn't really change the ecosystem too much other than the fact that you can now revert trades if you got scammed. But this update is completely different. This update not only has a direct effect on golds, making them less rare and less cool, but in a sense also punishes people who own knives or gloves. The only people who didn't lose money on this update were people who didn't have skins. Trust is lost, and there's no question.
The people who spent money on the game are the ones who got fucked.
You guys trust Valve to not lower the skin prices another 70% in the future? Because
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like, you gotta understand, like, at this point in time, like, Valve want money. Of course, you can tell is that they own a fucking game store. They're not just a game developer. They want money. And they want more money. This goes one of the biggest games on the platform, if not the biggest. I'm not sure. So like, yeah, like y'all people out there going to our third-party websites and set us up making bank, and Valve saying none of that. I'm leaving here with something. Like, hold on now, what y'all doing? I'm getting me something. Like, y'all not gonna keep doing that. So like, yeah, y'all mad, but like, understandably so, y'all mad. Don't get me wrong, understandably so. But like, the fact is that Valve wants that money, no matter how much it is. Like, every penny, they want all their schmeckles. They want them all. So like, your trust is definitely gone. Like, the trust in the community is definitely gone. But like, over time, it'll be back. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. This will be another milestone in the documentary of CSGO. But it'll pass.
I don't really trust that they won't, which is very scary. So thank you guys for watching. Now I'm gonna go contemplate life after they made golds less rare, less cool, and I'm wondering, should I even keep opening cases? I don't know. Whoop him!
You will, you addicted. But W fucking video. every fucking video. Yo, the CS:GO market is fucked. There's no saving it, at least for the moment, for the foreseeable future, I should say. Because, Lord,